gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome once again to this week's installment of Dad's Not Always on Wrestling. I, of course, am the Renegade J.J. Williams, my partner in crime, the West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham, and as you can hopefully tell by our respective backdrops here, today we are going to talk about the national pastime. Regardless of our feelings on hockey, the number one professional sport in America, at least, baseball. We are going to cover our top 10 baseball films. Once again, we want to remind everybody these top 10s are subjective. We're not necessarily saying these are the greatest, but these are our 10 favorites. As always on the non-wrestling weeks, I'm going to let Jeff lead off here, and I'm going to bat cleanup, hopefully drive a home run in with my choices.
I had no doubt of that, sir. Let me also piggyback off of what you said in the intro. As much as I hate to admit it, baseball, while still considered the national pastime, has been, I dare say, supplemented or replaced by football as the quintessential, like, everybody seems to love sport. Like, a good chunk of us like hockey, and we have Wayne Gretzky to thank for that being permeated in this country, no question about it. A huge majority of us still like baseball, but there are quite a few people I know that can't honestly sit through a live baseball game if they're not in the stadium. Pretty much with football, there you go. Yeah. Football, people can turn on football on a Sunday and, get lost in themselves, right? Kind of like the Big Four. I know you can't, but the overwhelmingly majority of the sports fan can, and I find that very sad in that, football, for all its glory and it's very much a violent sport compared to baseball, and I feel that says a lot about our country and the fact that we lean toward more a violent sport than we do a good old national pick'em game or a pickup game. It's kind of a bummer.
I agree with that. I've never been a huge football fan. Never really been a huge basketball fan. Right. When I was a lot younger, we're talking like even younger than our kids, I would sit on the living room floor with all my Topps trading cards, watching the Dodgers versus whomever they were playing. And my mom will back me up on this because she loves telling the stories about it, but I would sit there with my cards for the two teams, laid out in the batting order that was announced for them for the game. And when they would go and take the field, I would put them in like a diamond shape on the floor in their respective positions, moving the runner around the bases, keeping tabs and scoring. So it was almost like I was playing my own little game with the cards while the game was happening live on television.
I dig that. That's pretty cool.
But as I grew up, as you said, it just became boring to me. Like, to sit there and watch it on TV.
Yeah.
If you're not in the ballpark,
right,
it's hard to get caught up in it. And sometimes even in the ballpark, it's hard.
Agreed.
I think you were there with me for that one Angels game that we went to, and by God, it seemed like it went on for about 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it did.
We all came out of it sunburnt like freaking Sebastian about to hit the plate for Little Mermaid, and it was bad.
Yes.
The ginger was redder than the shirt he is wearing.
This is a true statement. And, and then there's, moments in baseball like, when the Kings have, or the Dodgers have Kings games, or Kings Day, and we go and we're going to sit one place, and we sit another place, and we run into drunken friends, and it's just a glorious time. So there you go, because, there is no better thing than watching your friends that are supposed to be the professional, doing their job, doing their thing, just completely stumbling over the bleachers and falling over people. It's good stuff. So
Yeah.
I love you,
Sometimes
JF.
it can become more
Um,
entertaining than the actual game.
True story. So, but these movies for me, see, I like sports movies, especially hockey. God knows, I can watch Slapshot and Miracle on loop, right? But these baseball movies tug at you. They permeate into your soul because they're all in their way feel good, like stories. Like, it's they're just that damn good, as Triple H
Yeah.
would say. So
Yeah.
here we go.
Definitely agree with you there.
So number 10 for me is The Rookie from 2002. This is one of those where, as I get older, I appreciate this story more and more because it's like, this guy who, had the talent, but you think, oh, he's too old, and he'll never, it's the general perception of guys out of their prime has never been more prevalent than in this story because they totally chalk this guy up and write him off, and he goes out there and proves that age is only a number. I love the story. I love the way everything is framed. I love the story's framing. I love the character development. It's so just damn good, and you can't go wrong with a Disney related heartwarming story. There you go. So there's that. Number 9. Again, I didn't see it in its original run because, well, both of those actually are too young for the original run, let's be honest. The Bad News Bears. If for no other reason, the fact that it's, here we are, it's, let's see, 2020, so, almost 50 years, and that movie is still relevant as a top sports anything movie, any sport movie, because these god awful kids and this obnoxious coach just they come together, and it very much led to our favorite, I dare say, sports franchise movie wise, the Ducks. Very similar story. These got these kids who couldn't hit the broadside of the barn if they were standing in the freaking front yard of the farm. They ended up becoming this thing of greatness. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful story.
I would say probably the biggest difference between the Bears and the Ducks is the foul-mouthedness of the children.
And again, Bad News Bears is not Disney, so
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. You won't see Charlie Conway dropping the F-bombs. So,
But everything else, like you said, is pretty much spot on. The Mighty Ducks is basically the Bad News Bears on hockey skates.
Right. And now you say, it's funny you say that. I can't imagine the Ducks being foul mouthed. Just even Carp.
Dude, you don't think the Bash Brothers would be dropping some F-bombs?
I think.
Look me in the eyes through this video and tell me that you cannot see Fulton Reed or Dean Portman pulling a Drew Doughty talking about I'll fucking fuck you up.
The greatest hockey story ever as far as that kind of stuff. I forget. I think it was. Let me double check. Dad, if you can hear me, the swearing at the guy on the ice was Dan Maloney, right? I said the guy swearing on the ice was Dan Maloney, right? Okay. So one game, I don't know if Dad was watching on TV or whatever it was, but Dan Maloney, who played here. Oh, okay, he was there. Yeah, Dan Maloney, who played for the Kings. My dad was at the game at the Forum, and somebody in the team just, was causing trouble. And Dan Maloney looked right at him and says, "I'm gonna fuck you up," like right in front of 16,005 people. And it was just one of those like, so. Yeah, I can see Portman and Reed do that. Yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah, it's
right.
But in the context of Walt Land, probably not. Number 8, in the most freak injury thing to happen up until Sid in 2001. There's the joke, kids. Rookie of the Year, 1993. This poor kid had his arm like this because of falling out of a damn tree. and ends up being able to throw a ball so far. He throws it from the outfield off a opponent hit home run to the catcher. Like, huh? Again, it's a goofy concept, and Lord knows Daniel Stern in anything is goofy, let's be honest. But this movie is about as Disney as you can get without actually being a Disney movie, because it wasn't made by, it's on Disney Plus now thanks to the Fox partnership, but or the Fox buyout, let's be real, they bought them and own their assets now, because Disney do. And yeah, exactly. But damn, I forgot how much I like this movie till I was, oh, it's on Disney Plus, cool. It's actually a really cute movie. And man, Thomas Ian Nichols in his little baby face before he, got all American Pie nasty, it's awesome. I love it. I
was gonna throw that out there if you didn't mention it.
Yeah. It's very scary how from 93 to whatever it was, 99 that American Pie came out. Yeah, wow, what a difference. Holy, yeah. American Pie is not on this list because there's just, yeah, there is sport to that movie, but yeah. Okay, number 7, Lord help me, Major League. Oh, Charlie Sheen. That's Charlie Sheen, and Bob Uecker, and WWE Hall of Famer Bob Uecker, by the way. So there you go. Yeah, I see Charlie. I think Charlie Sheen should be in the Hall of Fame WWE because honestly, he was on Raw a couple times as a guest appearance, and he appeared with another Hall of Famer in a major movie. So put him in, Vince. Why not? This movie is just goddamn ridiculous. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's so. And the first one is definitely a classic. When they started getting into the weeds of the other, it's like, okay, come on. It's, I was reading about this morning before we taped. There's certain movies that stand up and are awesome, and if they had no other entries in any sort of way sequel-wise, they would be ultimately perfect. A great example is Halloween. You and I both love Halloween, but everything after that was like, okay, it's good, but yeah, Bruce will tell you, Friday the 13th. Anything past 4, Anything past Major League, the original, is good, not great.
Chucky.
Yeah.
Anything past the original, as much as I do love Bride.
Yeah.
2 bores me. 3, they changed kids because they wanted to age Andy too quickly.
Right.
4, the Bride of, I did like because it was an nod to Bride of Frankenstein at the end of the day.
Right.
Seed, oh hell no, I don't even acknowledge that one.
Right.
And then the direct-to-DVD one since then, I still have not seen the reboot. Want to, but I still haven't. The direct-to-DVD ones definitely made up for the blunders of the others.
Right.
But they could have stopped at the first one to get back to your point.
Right. I love me some Chucky, but I think that Curse and Cult has so much damage control to do, which they did to their credit. But it was like, just, yeah. 2, I think 2, there was a lot, we talked about exposition on the franchise episode. 2 has way too much exposition. We already know what's up. Like, why are we having so much dialogue? So, and 3, whatever. Same with Seed. Anyway, yeah, Major League 1, good shit. Number 6, and I didn't realize this was the remake until I did a little research. 1994's Angels in the Outfield. Now, I had no idea there was a 1951 Angels Outfield. I had no, and what's funny is it wasn't based on the Angels because the Angels didn't exist in 1951. So, and the Dodgers were still in Brooklyn. So, there's that. Yeah, it's actually based on a Pittsburgh team, but it was still same kind of story, except it was the manager that was so far gone that he needed redemption, and the Angels came in to help. The 1994 Disney version, though, I love this damn movie. Again, another, kid who went on to, be much more non-Disney later, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, although, Dark Knight Rises, he was amazing. His Halloween entry cannot be, though brief, it was still cool. And his kill was just awesome. You didn't even see it, and it was still awesome. but he carried this movie. He was a superstar. Danny Glover, of course, Danny Glover in anything,
Before he was too old for this shit.
Right. Well, actually, yeah, he had been too old for that shit for about 10 years, but he was still good. Christopher Lloyd in a comedy playing a completely ridiculous character. There you go. Tony Danza, though. Tony Danza's Mel Clark really stood out to me more and more each time I watch this movie, because you honestly think that there's no redeeming qualities to this guy. He's just an old, washed up, drunken bum, much like Jimmy Dugan in a movie I'm going to talk about later. Yeah, exactly. But we find out that he's coming up soon. So he's got that, okay, he's a good guy inside, he's coming up. So there is redemption there. And I think that was a super cool touch that the producers throw in there. I thought it was really nice. But it's a beautiful movie. I love Me the Angels. I have been an Angels fan since before 2002, Mikey. And I love my boys to pieces. So it was cool to see the California Angels get some screen time. That was cool. And, I forget the guy's name, the actor's name, but the guy who gets ragged on, the pitcher, the one that, they convince it's, Jose, can you see? It's like, that guy, every time he appears in the movie, it's awesome. So I like him too. Number 5. I saw this movie when it first came out and I liked it, but I didn't really come to love it until The Sandlot. This movie is beautiful. This movie just, and it shouldn't be. It should be just this silly little kids movie with, a bunch of, ragtag ragamuffins playing in some backyard next to a house that, has this, rabies infested slobbering ass dog with James Earl Jones, adding in a random Darth Vader voice because James Earl Jones do. And, and instead it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It's just amazing. The story is great. And I had a complete mind. I'm trying to not use the F word too much, but a mind screw when I found out, who played Benny. Like, I had no idea there was a Mighty Ducks tie, and I went, oh my god, there it is. Oh geez. So again, if you're a Mighty Ducks movies fan, Sandlot's for you also. So it's a very, very beautiful story. I love the whole thing, the development with the kid who comes in and uses Babe Ruth's ball. It's like it's such a social outcast type movie, and I love it. I love that kind of story. Number 4, I've only seen this movie once, and that's why probably it's farther down, because most people are going to say this should be number 1. Bull Durham. Again, I love Kevin Costner. And I love everybody in the cast. It's just I've only seen it once, maybe twice, and it hasn't really impacted into my system. But it is a damn good movie. It's one of the best movies of all time, period, let alone a baseball movie. So I can't have a baseball movie list without Bull Durham. So if I get access to it again and we come back in a year, or, if we're still on baseball hiatus in, a few months and we do this again because we need some damn baseball in our lives, then we'll see where it lands. Number 3, I blame you 100% for The Pride of the Yankees. I had never seen this movie ever until I walked into your apartment. So, and I knew the story of Lou Gehrig, right? I knew, how he rose to prominence and how this unknown, they didn't know what it was, terrible affliction brought him down in his prime and reduced him to, a shell of what he was as it went on. But that speech, as depicted in the movie, it's brutal, but it's beautiful. I love it so much, and I thank you for that. Number 2, I was going back and forth between 2 and 1 because I love them both so much, but having just recently seen the other one, and realizing again how much I love it, I moved this one to number 2. Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. If that does not apply to my brand alone as a creator, producer, host, whatever, over the last, let's see, we're in July now, so 7 months almost, I've been told, if you build it, they will come. I've built this thing. I've brought you back into the fold. I got Mikey back. We got Greg. The brand has been built and people have come, and I'm greatly appreciative. And that motto, that catchphrase that Kevin Costner hears in that crazy mind of his, it's awesome. And I love it. And the whole movie, Rene Russo is awesome in it, and Kevin's great, and you've got, Ray Liotta, and just everybody has their own moment in the movie, and that's what's beautiful about it. It just kicks ass.
And let us not gloss over yet another James Earl Jones entry into a baseball movie.
Yeah, well, James Earl Jones is everything, and he just needs to be in every movie from now on. Like him, I need him in every movie in a cameo. I need Morgan Freeman narrating in every movie ever, and playing God, double role. Yeah, and I need let's see, who else do I need in the movie? We just need a random cameo from somebody.
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
There you go. Yep, Deadpool.
Just add some levity and some comic relief to every situation.
Especially in frickin' Pride of the Yankees. Holy crap, we need some levity in that one. My goodness. There's a really bad fan film for me. I'm just going to push it away and make that stop before it actually permeates into a germ of a thought. Anyway, okay. So if you know Field of Dreams number 2, my number 1 is Over Your Right Shoulder. Again, right there alone, Tom Hanks and Madonna. That's quality casting, just those two alone. Gina Davis, Rosie O'Donnell before she went nuts. Everybody, Lori Petty, who you think of Lori Petty, you think of the sci-fi stuff, but she's damn good in A League of Their Own. This movie, I saw it in 92, and I loved it then at 8 years old. I love it even more now. That's one of those up there with the Back to the Futures and the Star Treks. Yeah, I can watch those all day. I can watch this movie every day of the week and find something I didn't see before. The story is beautiful, and again, Bill Pullman in a supporting role, but still Bill Pullman's awesome because he's Bill Pullman. And the women that played the older versions of the girls, they did a great job too, and the little bit parts at the end. And I did not remember how much the scene where Betty Spaghetti gets her telegram destroyed me. Like, oh my God.
Straight up Mortal Kombat style. You just punch and rip the heart out. There it is. There's your heart beating.
Well, if you want to tie it to modern times for you and I, once upon a time moment, so yeah, and it's coming. As soon as that kid walks through that door in that uniform, I know it's coming. If you see the movie, you know it's coming. And that walk that Jimmy takes, and it's like, oh, just hurry up, Jesus. And Gina Davis, and I forget who plays Betty, and I'm sorry if you're still alive, I forget who your name is, but just the two of them looking like, because they know it's one of them. They know it's coming, and when Betty just dissolves and melts into a puddle, it's, oh fuck, and Dottie loses her damn mind because of it and has to go. She's got to bail. And I love the line at the end before they transition back to the present, where Jimmy meets Bob Pullman's character, and Bob says, "I'm a big fan." Oh, thank you. And I'm Dottie's husband. Oh, well, I'm a big fan of yours. It's just such a cute little moment there between the two, because for 90% of that movie, Jimmy is macking on Dottie like no business. He's not really like obnoxiously doing it, but you can tell he's trying. But the minute it's like, oh, well, dude, you're awesome, dude. You got her. I love you for that. So it's just it's a total dude moment, but it's cool.
It is.
I love A League of Their Own, and that's my top baseball movie of all time.
Okay. Very, very good list. I have to say, we're so on the same page with these. I think there's only about 3 or 4 movies that are different on mine.
Wow.
The biggest difference obviously is going to be ranking.
Right.
Although out of the 6 movies I believe we share, 3 of them fall in the same spots on my list. It just goes as a testament to how great those movies are.
Yep.
And the fact that you know where they're going to fall on the list.
And the fact that we're so simpatico despite the public belief.
So, starting off my list at number 10, and it's only at number 10, not because I think it's a bad movie, but because I've never seen it start to finish.
Oh, okay.
But I did come into it in the middle and immediately get sucked in and watched till the very end of it, and loved it. And it's Robert Redford's The Natural.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Damn good movie. I can't really elaborate too much because I've only seen it that one time, but it was enough to grab me, pull me in, and just captivate my attention.
Yep, definitely honorable mention from me on that for sure.
Number 9 is one of the earliest appearances on film that I can recall from Mr. T'Challa, King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, 42, the Jackie Robinson story.
Ah, yes.
If you know Jackie's story, then I don't need to elaborate here. Pick up the movie, watch it. If you're a Marvel fan, watch it for Chadwick Boseman. If you're a baseball fan, watch it for the story of Jackie Robinson. Damn good movie. Number 8, you had a lot higher on your list, which impressed me. It's only lower on my list because the other movies on my list are more repeat views for me. Pride of the Yankees.
Oh, wow, okay.
You went pretty in-depth on it on your list. You know the story of Lou Gehrig, his disease, which has now affectionately been declared Lou Gehrig's disease. But the one thing that you didn't mention that, I don't know, maybe you forgot or just didn't think about it in the heat of the moment, is the appearance of Babe Ruth as Babe Ruth. Like, he played himself in that movie.
Right.
That's
I did forget,
how much Gehrig meant to Babe and the Yankees, was that Babe portrayed himself in that story.
Right.
Can't
I thought again.
With that.
I thought again.
Number 7, Fever Pitch.
Okay.
Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore. Jimmy Fallon grows up a lifelong Boston Red Sox fan. The movie is filmed. This is a little trivia tidbit because I did my research on this movie. The movie was filmed and done with the assumption that, in the movie, the Red Sox were going to let down like they always do. They come so close, but they can never win the big one, but still got love for the team, and you got the girl in the end and everything. Still beautiful story. But then the real playoffs start, and the Red Sox reverse sweep the Yankees in the American League Championship Series. And they go to the World Series. And they've won 3 games straight. So the producers buy tickets for Jimmy and Drew, and they go dressed as their characters out there, and the stuff you see in the film was filmed right when they won the championship, legitly, and broke the curse of the Bambino.
Yep.
Speaking of the Babe, previously from Pride of the Yankees. It's another good reason why I put these together, because I felt the Babe thing kind of rolled.
Right.
But to know that that was like legitimate stuff happening, like they are filming as the Red Sox are celebrating their win, as that monkey is now off their back.
Right.
Just adds a little bit more to the movie.
Right. I will say, honorable mention for me, by the way, The Babe. Let me throw that out there. Now, I don't know if you have it on your list or not, but
I've actually never seen it. John Goodman as Babe Ruth.
Oh. It's good stuff.
Number 6. Your number 6, Angels in the Outfield. You know, I adore that movie for all the reasons that you already mentioned, so I'm not going to dwell too much on it. You know, young JGL, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, before he blew up. But you could very much see the star on the rise there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know, you got to remember watching this. This is before 10 Things I Hate About You, before The Dark Knight Rises.
Before Third Rock from the Sun. So all that, yeah.
But you could totally see that star on the rise.
Yeah.
Much like you could watching Uncle Buck and seeing Macaulay Culkin for the first time.
Yep.
You could see that star about to rise.
Yeah. His moment in the courtroom when the dad leaves and he thinks, you know, the Angels are going to win the pennant, he gets his dad back, and it's like, it hits him. It's like, where are you going? Like, just this moment of, it's very much the Ralph Mouth moment. You can see his heart destroyed. It's like, but, you know, not quite as comical, obviously. But, yeah, it's brutal. And I did leave out JP, because JP can't be understated. That whoever, I forget the kid's name, but he was amazing. His whole quest in the movie, he wants to see an angel, man. At the very end, he gets, I knew it could happen. Like, it's so cute.
Number 5. You gave props to the original. I honestly have the original and the sequel here side by side at number 5, Major League and Major League 2.
Okay.
And I have them side by side because I love them both for different reasons.
Okay.
While I do agree with your assessment that if they just left it at the original, the franchise would still be perfect, I enjoyed Part 2 just as much as, if not a little bit more than, because I actually saw the sequel first.
Oh, okay.
So I saw them backwards originally, so that one's got that little bit more sentimental to me because I saw it first.
Right.
Major League, what you have to remember, is more of a drama movie.
Yes.
It is the it's the story of Jake Taylor and his redemption. Still having what it takes to play in the majors. It is a drama. Part 2 is a comedy.
Yeah.
And it's about Ricky Vaughn finding that hunger that he had in that first movie and remembering what a badass he could be when he's not trying to be a corporate sellout.
Remember
very
who the fuck
D2.
You are.
Very much shades of his brother in D2.
Yes.
When Bombay goes corporate and has to remember why he fell in love with hockey and his team in the first place.
Right. By the way, side note, can we say how awesome this family is? Ricky Vaughn, Gordon Bombay, and the President. There you go. I mean, Martin Sheen as president is awesome in West Wing. If you haven't seen West Wing, we'll be fine. You can pause this for a few weeks and go watch West Wing. There you go. Okay.
Number 4, The Sandlot.
Yeah.
Again, all the things that you mentioned. And this movie is literally a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You've got drama with, what's his name, taking the main kid. I forget. Is it Scotty?
I think so.
Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. Whatever his first name is.
Right.
The Smalls taking his stepdad's Babe Ruth ball, using it for the game, losing it, and all of those antics ensue.
Yes.
You've got comedy with Ham and the rest of the ragtag bunch of misfits. You've got horror in The Beast and The Chase. And the fact that dog goes running through a showing of the Wolfman. Hello. You've got just a little bit of everything. You've got the holidays because you've got the 4th of July game that they play. The one night game a year they play because of the way the fireworks light the sky up. this movie has a little bit of everything in it.
Agreed.
And I don't think a lot of people give it that due because they think, oh, it's a kids movie, oh, it's a comedy, oh, it's a sports movie. Yeah, it's all those. But it's also got all the other stuff. It's got drama, it's got horror. It's got a little bit of everything.
And it's definitely another one of those movies that they should have left it be at 1.
Definitely, definitely. The fact that the others were only straight to DVD says a lot.
Right.
And rest his soul, Luke Perry coming into the franchise and trying to do what he did. Commend him for the attempt.
Yeah.
But no, Luke. That's a bad Luke.
That's
Go
right.
back to being Dylan McKay.
That's right. No, Luke, it's a bad look. We need Buffy the Vampire Slayer to take you out again for that. I was wrong for that.
Number 3, I knew was not going to be on your list, but it was very much a sentimental favorite of mine and quite possibly the first baseball movie I fell in love with. It is also holds the distinction of being the very first Disney Channel original movie. Before The Descendants, Camp Rock, High School Musical, Life Size, any of those movies that people grown up with in the 2000s, the 90s, whatever. Tiger Town. Roy Scheider as the washed up, aging past his prime Tigers player. Justin Henry plays a young boy whose father dies in the very beginning of the movie. And him and his dad's whole thing was going to the Tiger games. Go, go, go. And he keeps going. He keeps going. He believes that the Tigers can win. And then much like Angels in the Outfield, much like Fever Pitch, they win in the end. And it's all kind of that warm and fuzzy wrap-up there. I always tell people, as much as I love Angels in the Outfield, I love Tiger Town more.
Wow, okay.
So when we would go back in the days and we would see the Angels play the Tigers, I would always go for the Tigers. Any other time, I'd go for the Angels.
Yep.
I would always go for the Tigers in those games, much to the approval of AA or in Austin.
I was going to say somewhere AA is smiling right now for that.
And when people would look at me and be like, why aren't you going for the Angels? Aren't you a Disney mark? Yeah. But before Angels in the Outfield, there was Tiger Town.
Yeah. Before it didn't even own the Angels, there was Tiger Town. So there you go.
Number 2, Field of Dreams. As my mom would say, Field of Dreams is a good movie. I'm sure you've heard the story of how my mom harped and harped and harped on me to watch that movie, and I didn't want to give it a chance. Didn't want to sit through it. Oh, I don't care for baseball anymore. I'm too old for it. Sit down, shut up, and watch the movie. My response when it was over was, that was a damn good movie.
Yep.
Field of Dreams is a good movie. So now whenever I don't want to do something, I don't want to try something, she looks at me and says, Field of Dreams is a good movie. Like, remember, you were wrong. You might want to just give this a try and listen to your old mama.
Yeah. Seriously, like, you're going to have a moment later in life after she's moved to the next phase of existence, and you're going to not want to do something. She's going to have a simple moment. Remember. Damn it, Mom.
So, yeah, Field of Dreams, though, I mean, again, all the reasons that you said, the cast is phenomenal.
Yes.
And who doesn't at least drop 1 or 2 tears at the very end when Kevin Costner gets to have that game of catch with his old man?
Right. I mean, that's what we've been sitting here for 2 hours for.
Yeah.
You know.
And number 1, your number 1, my number 1, should be everybody's number 1, League of Their Own. Again, I could sit here and ramble on, but you already gave virtually every reason why it's number 1 for me. The cast, the movie, the story. You did forget about 2 people in the cast who also helped bring it all together, although they are bit parts. John Lovitz as the recruiter
Right.
that scouts Dottie and her sister.
Right.
And then in the very end, the little boy that taunted them on the field all those years, "You're gonna lose." Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Exactly.
Heaven forgive me, I can never remember his real name. He will always be Francis for me.
I know. God, I hate that I do the same thing.
To see him walk into that room as they're all celebrating their accomplishments and looking at the Hall of Fame and their little wing there, and for him to walk in there and him get that look like, "Do I remember you?" And then he gives the "You're gonna lose."
And Dottie just has that,
very much in the "I know you are, but what am I?"
right
type of vein.
Yeah.
And you see that flash, like you just said, that flash of expression on Dottie's face. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. And it wasn't Stillwell. It was Stillwell Angel. It's like, what's yeah. And by the way, the scene where Stillwell gets the baseball glove in the face is just ridiculously awesome. Like, ha! Got him! I was belly laughing a moment ago when I watched it. It was so good.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And just one more mention for A League of Their Own. It does also give us quite possibly my favorite Madonna song of the 90s.
Yes.
This used to be my playground.
Yes. It's very much not that era Madonna song, but it's beautiful.
Because you got to figure that's the era that she was doing Justify My Love, Erotica, My Baby's Got a Secret.
Right.
And to just drop this very, very somber, reminiscing tune in the midst of it all.
Yep.
Love that song to death.
Yeah, it is it very much ties those credits and the whole movie together. Yeah. So very well done. As my dad would say, that's our opinion, and it should be yours. So there you go. Again, we're back next week, 2 weeks, on the JEFF MEACHAM Network, for another round of the dads. This time we are on wrestling. We'll have another wrestling topic for you. You can follow Mr. Williams here at the Renegade JJ Williams on Instagram. And let us know what you guys want us to talk about, because, we've got the July stuff figured out. We've got one of our August shows figured out, because August is SummerSlam and it's a wrestling channel, so but what do you guys want the non-wrestling topic to be in August?
Yeah.
What do you guys want to see?
Give us some suggestions, and we will even do this. We're going to do it kind of like a little contest. Me and Jeff were discussing this the other night. Submit us your suggestions, and if we use your suggestion, you'll get a follow from us on IG.
There you go.
Because we don't follow everybody on our business pages. We try to keep it strictly business related.
Right.
So if you submit us a topic and we use your topic, you will get a follow back from us.
True story. So there's that. And of course, teespring.com/store/Jeff-Meacham-Network. Depending on discussions between the taping and the publishing, there should be more stuff up there. So we'll see if that plays out or not. And that's it. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Let's not forget to support our favorites, the Stat Boy and the Henderson Hottie.
Yes.
Or Teespring.
Teespring.com/store/Greg Cherry Brand. Again, buy 1, buy 10, buy them all. Sell out the store, please, because that all goes toward the folks. So there you go. Yeah. By all means, make it happen, Captain. We'll see you guys next time. JJ, close us out, please.
You just did your sign out, your little hats were there, so I kind of figured that was the end of it. But until next time, until I lead the charge, if you will, in our next non-wrestling topic, I am the Renegade JJ Williams with Jeff Meacham, and we will see you when we see you.